is on nothing. Because I'm not here to amass wealth for myself. I'm here to amass wealth for a nation of people. Yes, I live good. I deserve to live good. Who worked and only got $35 a week to feed his wife and his children. You don't know the Louis Farrakhan that walked 5 or 6 miles to the mosque because he didn't have no car and had to put cardboard in my shoes. You don't know the Louis Farrakhan that couldn't buy a suit for 9 years, a new suit. You don't know the Louis Farrakhan whose brother had to bring him old used suits in the trunk of his automobile that I was dressing them for $5. You don't know the Louis Farrakhan whose children had to live from the Salvation Army and bought dresses and whatnot for 5 and 10 cents and would take clothes that people left on my doorstep. You don't know what I suffered. But I didn't come into this for no money. I never was no man that loved money. You don't know me. I want to acquaint you with me. Elijah Muhammad would almost have to fight me to take money from him. This is true. He offered me anything I wanted. He said, just call me. How many of you would have been on the phone all night? I've never called him once to ask him for nothing because he gave me a field to work, and if I couldn't work my field and get it out of my field, I didn't deserve it. You don't know the Louis Farrakhan that went down in Faneuil Market in Boston when the market closed and they throw food in the streets. And me and my wife with little bags would put the greens and whatnot that we picked up in the street in the bag and go home happy because we had enough to feed our growing family. See, you don't know that Louis Farrakhan. You don't know the Louis Farrakhan that the beloved wife of Elijah Muhammad, Clara Muhammad, came and stood in our living room and broke down and cried because she never saw people so poor who were so happy. You don't know that man. I'm the man that wrote the song, A White Man's Heaven is a Black Man's Hell. Wait a minute. I'm one of the original rappers. The money together and paid RCA Victor Studios. I got the money together to pay the musicians. I didn't ask nobody for no money. I put it out on my own and I gave the record to Malcolm X because it was Malcolm's column, A White Man's Heaven is a Black Man's Hell, that inspired the song. And Malcolm used the record to build the first restaurant in New York, Temple No. 7 Luncheonette. I never got a dime from it. They came to my leader and said, we'll offer you $750,000 for the master. And he called me in and said, do you want me to sell it? I said, no, sir. Because $750,000 is not enough money. I think we can sell it and make more money, dear Apostle. I never did nothing in this nation thinking of myself first. And that's why I get sick of you when you are so hungry for money that you think of yourself in front of your nation. We are all going to die, but the people will live. And if you don't live for the people and for God, then your life is in vain. And no vain man will ever be remembered kindly in history. I took money from honorariums and I bought the Final Call building. Ask them, they'll tell you. I took money from my speeches and I put carpet on the floor and bought air conditioning and bought the paint. And the believers kept wondering why I wouldn't ask them for no money. I wanted to prove to you that I ain't no damn thief. I'm a multi-talented genius. To rob black people. I wouldn't rob you. If my life depended on it, I'd rather die in honor than to steal a dime. You ought to love me. I would love a man like that myself. The Final Call building belongs to them. The Power building on 79th and Halstead belongs to them. Everything that I put my hand on, that God blessed me with, it belongs to the community. Well, Brother Farrakhan, don't you think you should do something for yourself? Every time I do something for the community, I'm doing it for myself. I'm a man that you can trust. I'm not going to lie to you. If I don't know, I just don't know. I'll tell you, I don't know. I'd rather die than just lie to you. The government can't offer me a white woman. No. There's some very beautiful white women in this world, but they're not for me. And they can't offer me a black woman. What God wants for me, He gives me. And He gave me one.